Yo, yo, yo. I see yo, my Niji. I see yo. I see yo, my Niji. I see yo. What's going on, Chad? This is Dr. Chief This Sunflower back with another Hood to Hooded podcast for your brain. It has been a lot going on, so I just want to first do a vibe check, vibe check, vibe check. If you're watching this on the replay, which most people are because this is late at night, let me know how you're feeling today. Let me know what's the temperature today. Let me know what is going on in your mind today, my Niji. Because this world has went crazy. Everything is different. Every day I wake up is something new. So you can see from the title of this podcast, we will be discussing the economics of racism. Yes, the economics of racism. Because guess what? This political system has never been for the needy. Ever since the colonizers have, taken the land, it has never been for melanated people. On no continent is the system for melanated people, unless it's for us, by us. Boo boo. You remember that? Right. So, although we are talking about the economics of racism, this is day 28 of my personal consistency project. Me showing up 365 days consistently on Twitch, and it doesn't matter the time, I just show up, even if it's in the middle of the night like tonight, because guess what? This gets me checks and balances so that I can make sure that I'm staying engaged with my audience. And also, we are just growing. It's now more than ever. It's important for us Niji to stick together, and not only stick together, it's important for us to all share the knowledge. Each one teach one. It is important, it's vital to our health and to our economics, because for so long, well, we'll say these past 400-500 years, the economics has been snatched from our hands. We have been blindsided, and now it is time to take back control of our mind. This is where we start first, my Niji. So the recession is here. The government may lie and say that it is not here, but it is here. And we are on the brink of an economic collapse with the federal government. Now, I'm bittersweet about the shit because guess what? They need to fall down because you didn't even get this land and everything that you got legally in the first place. It was never handed to you. It was always stolen, taken. There was always some type of atrocity committed so that you could get the land that we so call Turtle Island. All right, my Niji? So we will be in this broadcast. This is one of the most important podcasts that we have ever recorded. We will be talking about recession, depression, and the fake economy that's crumbling in real time. Crumbling in real time, I need you. The system was never built to support us. It was never designed to contain, extract, it was designed to contain, extract, and distract us. Right? It's just to distract us. So this is about the economics of racism. And if you don't understand this now, you will pay for it later. So let's dive in. Let's dive in, my Niji. Before I dive in, the reason why this is so important is because normally I'm able to get on and talk about how to grow your business, personal development, how to make money, get out of the matrix. But now there is an urgency for us to know who the fuck we are. Like, if we don't know who we are right now, we continue to deny it, we continue to just ignore it, we continue to allow colonizers to put us this way, we do Democrat, Republican, they're all the same. Democrat, Republican, they are all the fucking same. They all ran by the same people with none of us in their plans, right? So I just been watching all of the fear mongering going on. The shelves are going to be empty. The ports are going to be empty. Trump is doing this tariff, that tariff. It's just so much going on that as Niji, we have to get into our sovereign, peaceful mindset. We also have to know about community. networking, and being unafraid, unapologetic to live in our truth. Now is the time where we rise, Maniji. The government is falling, but we shall not fall. We shall rise. We shall not have fear, because this fall has nothing to do with us. Do not feel attached to a political government that has done us so wrong, reclassified us, just thought of us in the least positive way. We do not feel sorry for this government. We do not here feel sorry in America as melanated Niji for the government that is just doing whatever the hell they want. For decades and years, they have been taxing indigenous people, the sovereign Niji, us, and sending this money all across the world and making us poor and taking from us and putting us down, spitting in our faces, beating us, putting out propaganda, giving us crosses in the Bibles and schools, churches, all of these things to block our mindset and to hold us down, I need you. So that's why the economics of racism is serious. It's all about money. It's never been about who we are as humans. It's always been about the dollar. How can we snatch these people identity, their culture, give them something that's fake so that we can continue to rob them? But guess what? Because of racism, the American economic government, the economics of America, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I'm trying to say. Because of racism, the economy of the American government is tumbling down. They thought that, okay, we started this government by being racist to the indigenous people, melanated people, so this is going to hold up forever. And what's happening is they use that in their politics to vote against us for decades and years, until now it has came to bite them in the ass. Yeah. Yeah, it came to bite them in the ass. It really has. And I mean, I know people say, oh my God, Dr. Sean, you're a dentist. How could this be impacting you? But what a lot of you guys don't know is a report just came out today that 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So small business owners like myself, new business owners like myself, I just started this practice. I haven't been in business that long. And today I had to make a decision. Do I stay open or do I shut down? Yeah, I had to make that decision today. Do I stay open or do I shut it down? And we were on the verge of not being open. But guess what? I had no fear. I knew that if it's meant for me to be be a dentist, have this dental practice during the midst of this storm, during the midst of a recession or whatever the hell is going on that they don't want to call a recession, then it will be. But as an EG, I can't let it break my spirit at all. I can't let what's going on with the tariffs, with the supply chain, break my spirit. Because guess what? Tomorrow we will breathe, we will survive, we will continue to thrive. We just can't let it break our spirit. Just can't do it, my Niji. So what is the truth about recession and inflation? Is it a stimulus or is it a setup? So 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. It was 70% just a week or two ago. Now it's 78%. So that's like 4/5 of the United States paycheck to paycheck. That's not a good sign for the economy, for Trump to still be saying, oh no, we're not in a recession. The economy is just starting to boom. It's just lies after lies after lies with these people. They have been lying to us since 16, 19, whenever the hell they started to come over here. They just been lying. COVID relief was $8 trillion injected into the economy when COVID came. $8 trillion in the form of PPP loans, unemployment expansion, and direct checks. That's what the government did. They printed $8 trillion. And they dropped interest rates to 0 to stimulate more borrowing. This was just a few years ago. So what did that mean for us? That means that once they did that, pump the PPP loans that people are going to jail for now, unemployment expansion and direct checks to consumers, it pumped more money into the economy, right? So then they dropped the rates of interest to 0%, the Federal Reserve, which I learned today is a private corporation. It's all starting to make sense, my Niji. All right. So this led to asset bubble, real estate prices increases, car prices and stocks became inflated. That was the short term effect of what the government did with COVID. Okay, we're going to repeat that again. The short term effect of when COVID happened, the economy was tanking. We already know, I repeat this every episode, that the government is broke. They went off of the gold standard in 1971, the Bretton Woods standard. And now it's just a fiat currency. It's just like Monopoly. You know how Monopoly has people faces on it, and you play the game. Money now is just like that. It's not backed by gold, by anything. It just has colonizers' faces on it, and some kind of way we believe that this is worth something. But what is happening around the world, my G? People are banning the dollar. It's becoming worthless in some places. People will still use it, but it's becoming worthless, and the quality of life when it comes to the dollar is declining. Purchasing power is declining. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So COVID, PPP loans, unemployment expansion, direct checks. This caused the Fed to do 0% stimulus. 0% interest rate to stimulate borrowing. In the short term, this created an asset bubble where real estate prices increased, car prices and stocks were inflated. What did it do in the long term, which is now? Supply chain crash, which is now. Inflation spike, which is now. And in 2022 to 2023, that was the highest inflation spike in 40 years. Okay? So this type of activity in the government, my Niji, leads to what we call recession. All right. Switch up the vibe a little bit. That music was not it. Alrighty. So recession is a temporary decline in the gross domestic production, the GDP. So that means we're not making as much as a economy or as a government. So everything's down. There's more unemployment. There's a lot more shortages, okay, in the economy. And if you have 2 cycles of recession, this leads to a depression, which is prolonged and a deep economic collapse. And I feel like we may be on the brink of a collapse with so many people ditching the dollar. Okay? So everything that looked like help back then was really a hidden handoff for us to collapse. Now, I don't know. A lot of people are saying this collapse was by design and not incompetence. They're saying that when Trump was talking about Project 2025, this is what was in it. But my thing is, neither party can save the Niji. Neither party, not the Democrat, not the Republicans, because they're all together. They're all under the same damn umbrella. I got a comment, but I can't really see what it says. Let's refresh the chat. Let's see if I can see what your comment says. Can't even hear you. Wait, you guys can't hear me. What? Hello? Oh, man. Yo. Okay, I can't hear myself. I'm not sure what's going on. But I turned the music down. Alrighty, so this collapse is not because of incompetence. It is from design. This isn't a cycle. I can't talk today. It's not a cycle, it is a structure. Okay? So, another thing that I learned is that these policies that the Congress and the government passes, they are not to protect us. They are to protect the banks, billionaires, and monopolies, because a lot of these companies, they get tax write-offs, such as Amazon, a business drowned in regulation, but they pay 0% taxes, versus a small business. We have all these regulations and we can't, yeah, we can pay 0% taxes too, but it's more unlikely. All right, everything is costing more, but the pay is staying the same. Maniji, this is economic warfare. I just heard a story about this lady. She's 69, still working at a fast food restaurant. She can't retire because of the way things are going with the economy. So this is a red flag to a lot of us to wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. I don't even have the answers. I don't have the answers. I'm just trying to stay in the know, my Niji. I'm just trying to figure it out. A lot of us are just trying to figure it out. What happens with all these things that they put out? What happens when they come true? What happens when you walk into the store and the shelves really are empty? Like, what the fuck are we gonna do? So basically, the government has sold us to their brand. Everything that we do is about their brand. It tells us that we can vote with politics, but then there's the electoral college. So the vote is like a theater. It's all propaganda. Both parties are funded by some billionaire. So the money becomes more important than humanity. Meaning, if you have millions of dollars, you can sway the vote however the hell you want to. Versus millions of people, we can't do anything, right? The government policy is designed to protect the elite, not the people. All right? And even the Federal Reserve is a private bank printing debt as money. Printing debt as money. Think about this. You think you live in a democracy, but you actually live in a corporate oligarchy. I can't even say this word. Okay? So what does the collapse look like for us, my Niji? What does it look like? I mean, because it's already here. It just hasn't been labeled yet. But what does it look like? This means that food, fuel, rent, electricity will be rising faster than our income. This means that millennials and Generation Z, Gen Z, will never own homes under this model. Wages won't be able to sustain families, and people will have to work 2 to 3 jobs just to survive. And a lot of people see that happening now, having to work 2 to 3 jobs just to survive. Credit becomes a weapon and debt is normalized. Now, what does this do to our mental health? It means we will have higher depression, anxiety, eviction, cutting back on family time, hobbies, just to go to work. I don't think help is coming, and politicians are architects of our pain. Hello, Lamina, state of uncertainty. Are you a communist? No, I'm not a communist. I don't claim any of that. Communist, Democrat, Republican. I'm not any of that. I'm just against inhumane shit that the government do. I'm really just somebody who used to classify as black or African American, and now I classify myself as indigenous to America after learning that my history has been banned, that my history has been lied about, that they have been teaching me false information. So no, I'm not a communist. I'm a realist, if you could say. And I'm just so tired of it ain't even my government, the United States government, pretending like they don't know who we are and holding melanated people down. This has been going on for centuries over here. If anything, the U.S. government might be communist. But no, I'm not communist. I don't even fall for political titles at all. I'm just tired of the government lying and doing things that are illegal, but legal in their book. So what comes next, my Niji? Sovereignty or scarcity? We have a choice to make. Stop trying to survive their collapse and build our own systems. Now that sounds a lot more difficult than we may be able to do, but I think that we could do it. How do y'all feel about it? How do y'all feel? Are you guys seeking sovereignty, or do you think that there's going to be scarcity? With all of the fear mongering that's going on the internet, on YouTube, with the government, is it a distraction to distract the Niji? Or is this our opportunity to pursue sovereignty? Like the country of Burkina Faso and their president, or their captain, Ibrahim Traore. How do y'all feel, my Niji? So this system that the government has built is built on extraction, not sustainability. It's all about taking away from people, not helping its people. So how do we decentralize our life from the government in this economic of racism? You have to grow your own food, right? Get some trading skills. Invest in gold and silver. Build community economics. Learn to barter, save, and create. And we must prepare for state collapse. Not doom talk, just reality, okay? State governments only exist to police, disenfranchise, and to control us. We must build internal credit, family structure, and relationships, and unplug from fake freedom and plug into real sovereignty. Now, let's get into the real talk, because somebody asked me in my comments. That's a good question. I'm so far from that you wouldn't even believe. What I really am is somebody who just came from hood to hood, meaning I came from the hood, right? I was pushed into the educational system, taught American history about Columbus discovering America. I was taught that blacks were 3/5 of the human and that I was a slave. I wasn't taught this by my family, but in school. Bullied for being this natural melanated skin tone, even though this skin has the highest defense against the UV rays from the sun. The sun actually activates the pigment in my skin and it redistributes the UV light so that it doesn't destroy my DNA and my cells. But some kind of way, white supremacy found a way to make that a bad thing because they do not have that. And it's just kind of sad. So, no, I'm not a communist. I'm a realist. And at this point, I'm really just a Niji. I'm just really Niji. I'm really supposed to be sovereign and not living in this scarcity mindset. And it just bothers me. Every time I get on the internet now, it's just like a red light. Like just lighting up every day. And I'm trying my best not to look at what's going on and from a fearful mindset, and look at it from a sovereign mindset, from a mindset where I'm expecting things to crash because it's time to make way for something new, especially for my people, especially for the Niji. Like, we have been banned and blocked and treated unequal for so long that the people who have been doing this just think that it's normal. They just don't give a fuck now. They even just a couple months ago banned TikTok because we was learning. Because we was talking on here, they banned a social media. They're controlling the social media app. This is how controlling they are, and this is how racist the economy is. It does not benefit us. It does not benefit a small business owner like myself. It just doesn't. It doesn't benefit somebody who, even though I went through school, did the right path, did what I was supposed to do, generational curses, poverty, that hood to hood mindset still follows me everywhere I go. Like I just said, I have a business and I have to make a decision. Do I stay in business, close my business? Are these tariffs going to just destroy my business? Because I don't have legacy. I came from nothing, starting from zero. And this is why generational curses are so detrimental, because you can't pass down wealth, because it's always a break in the chain. There's always a break in the mindset, because we're not together. We're just not together, my Niji. We're just not together. And that's why the economy is working against the melanated people, because we don't realize who we truly are. We're still fighting for black power. And the government is like, yeah, they're fighting for black power, something that don't fucking exist, that we made up. We gave them that fake ass identity. We told them they were slaves and they really wasn't slaves, but they don't know. So if you don't know who you are and you don't claim who you are, then they can treat you how they want to treat you. But if you know who you are, you can begin to prepare for the collapse that is imminent, that is definitely going to happen. But we don't need to be afraid of this. We need to be open to this, true to this, connected, unapologetic, unafraid, feathers on. Now, everybody won't understand this knowledge. Like some people, it's like, oh, are you a communist? Are you this? Some people won't understand our fight. Some people don't even understand what the hell we talking about, because we're in America, a place where it's just not fair. It's just not fair. We have a government who don't even understand what's going on, because they're the ones who did it. They're the ones who cause this pain. They're the ones who are making laws to hold the Niji down. They're the ones who are forcing us to learn our own history. Well, we have to teach our own history to the next generation. But my point is that when the kids go to school, they are shoving white supremacy vibes down their throat. They're not saying, hey, this is who your people were. We lied. They were here first. They invented all of these different things. They're not telling us that, are they? Are they, my Niji? They're not telling us that we're creators and inventors and geniuses. They're just not. So I used to be a Christian. Born and raised a Christian, because I didn't have any other choice. That's what I was just born into, until I did my research about Christianity, about colonizers and how they were connected to Christianity, and pretty much fed us Christianity kind of way they do American history. And now it's just down our throats. Churches, schools, all invented in the 1800s. But this world, this earth has been here for millions of years, right? We were here for thousands of years, but church came 100 years ago. Is it really a part of us, my Niji? Like, is it really? If Christopher Columbus gave us a cross, do you really think that that has something to do with us? We are idolizing a symbol? But back to how amazing we are, my Niji. Back to how amazing we are. So I'm going to give you some things that we invented. Now just listen to this. Do you think that if we were slaves, if we were 3/4 of a human, if we were not indigenous, if we weren't amazing, if we weren't creative, do you think that we would have the mindset and the capacity to create some of the things that everybody on this planet likely uses? Nearly everybody. We have contributed so much. So, everyday inventions. The dry cleaning process. This was by 1821 Thomas L. Jennings. First, we're going to say African American, but we really know that he's Niji. To receive a patent on his dry scoring method. So, dry cleaning process. That was a American Indian that they reclassified. They say the first African American. We don't believe that shit. We don't call ourselves African American because we're not from Africa. We weren't born there, and we are from America, but that ain't our name either. So we just misclassified. So when I say African American, that ain't really what I mean. I really mean my Niji. So I'm just gonna say Niji. You know, we gonna use it interchangeably here, but I just want to get that word out of my vocabulary. Black, African American. I just have to get it out of my vocabulary. So the dry cleaning process. Number 2, automatic lubricator for steam engines. Elijah McCoy inspired the phrase "the real McCoy." That's a Niji. Improved machinery efficiency. Steam engines now. 3-position traffic signal. Garrett Morgan enhanced road safety with invention of modern traffic lights. So in America, how many of us using the motherfucking traffic light? That was our brain. Do you think slaves who were shipped from Africa just 100, 200 years ago would have had the mindset to do all of this if they were in chains, shackled, and the lies that was told? Like, just stop it. Just stop it, government. I really need y'all to tell the truth. Home security system. Marie Van Britten Brown co-invented the home security. So when you walking around here feeling safe in your house and you got your Ring camera, that was a Niji. That was us. Carbon filament for light bulbs. Lewis Lattimore improved the longevity and affordability of electric light bulbs. Super Soaker water gun. Lonnie Johnson created one of the most popular toys, revolutionizing water guns. Yeah. Laser phaco probe for cataract treatment. Dr. Patricia Babb, first Niji woman to receive a medical patent. Right? So when they created the patent office, they wanted to try to patent all of our stuff. But we were still able to break through every barrier, every stereotype to patent our own items. Have you used any other things I listed so far? Folding cabinet bed. Sarah E. Good, early version of the modern Murphy bed. So a folding bed. That was us. Automatic elevator doors. Alexander Miles. Improve elevator safety with automatic doors. So when you going into that skyrise building in New York City or Japan or wherever you at, that automatic elevator door, that was us, boo-boo. Improved ironing board. Sarah Boone. Enhanced design for better garment pressing. Refrigerated truck system. Revolutionized food transport and storage. That was Frederick McKinley Jones. Okay. Gas mask. Garrett Morgan. Life-saving device used by firefighters and soldiers. That was us. Automatic fishing device. George Cook. Patented advice to improve fishing efficiency. Improved lawnmower. John Albert Burr. Enhanced lawnmower design for better performance. Improved mailbox. Philip B. Downing. Patented a street letter box design. The mailbox. How many of us using the mailbox, my Niji? How many of us using that? Pretty much all of us. Corn planter. Henry Blair. Second Niji to receive a U.S. patent. So the first one was, well, that was a regular patent. We already said corn planter. Henry Blair. Improved shoe lasting machine. Revolutionized the shoe production. Jan Mac Ziegler. Horse drawn street sweeper. Charles B. Brooks. Early version of modern street sweepers. Hello, Polaris Man. Improved clothes dryer. George T. Sampson. Enhanced drying process for clothes. The typewriter. I'm just going to go a little faster. The thermostat control. Temperature control system for various applications. So when you got AC in your car, AC in your house, that was us. Improved fire escape ladder. Joseph Winters. Portable fire escape ladder design. Improved fountain pen. Enhanced ink flow in fountain pens. Improved golf tee. Patent a wooden golf tee design. George F. Grant. That's just 25 of them. Right? Those are things that we have contributed to this world, and we consistently are left out of economic decisions. We are consistently left out of everything. Housing, rent, food, groceries. They're cutting off a lot of the programs. And I'm not saying that we need the government like that, but I'm just saying we need to get ourselves together and do for ourselves. And apparently the things that I'm reading, we've been self-sufficient, doing for ourselves. But now we are in a place where these curses, this mindset of us being less than and taken advantage of, really has us down bad, my Niji. I'm gonna go through another list of things that we have contributed to this world and we consistently are counted out. Blood bank storage system. Portable x-ray machine. Improved stethoscope. Surgical clamp. Disposable syringe. Now this is something that I use in dentistry every day. Disposable syringe, my Niji. Like when I'm in here doing extractions, we have disposable syringes. Before they had to use the same syringe until HIV came, and then they realized, oh crap, we can't use the same needle. So it was a Niji, a melanated person said, hey, this is the disposable syringe design. It's crazy. And that was Phil Brooks. Improved urinalysis machine to test for syphilis. Dr. William Hinton. Laser surgical devices. Dr. Patricia Babb. She invented the laser eye surgery. Think about this. There's no slave that could do this. This is indigenous people to this land. Y'all gotta stop lying in our face. Improved pacemaker electrode. Otis Boykin. Improved gas mask. Improved air conditioning unit. Heating furnace. Improved toilet system for trains. Improved eye protector. P. Johnson. Safety goggles for various applications. Improved dental chair. Robert T. Freeman. Enhancement in dental equipment. Y'all better stop playing with my ancestors. It made me excited because I'm like, I love this. I'm a dentist. So when I see that we invented some of this dentistry devices, it just fills me with pride because this is not things that are taught to us in school. So when somebody asks me, are you a communist? No, I'm Niji and I'm proud. It's crazy how people will put all these labels on you just because you want to be proud of who you are, proud of your ancestors, proud of where you come from. And you tired of people trying to tell you who you are. You tired of people trying to put all of these names in the way. Oh, which party are you? Which this are you? If I tell you I'm one of those parties, that means I am controlled by another man. I'm sovereign. I can follow my own mindset. The problem is I'm sovereign in a country that has mislabeled me as black, as African American, when I'm not either. And they block us out from even claiming that anywhere. They make it so difficult for you to say, man, you know, I'm American Indian. Not Native American, but American Indian. They have banned you from even claiming your shit. That's how evil this government is. And they will never like tell the truth, I feel like, ever. Even if it's written in 1,000 books, even if it's in 1,000 art drawings, they won't tell us. We have to tell us. Because if we left it up to them to tell us, it would be banned. Just like it has been in the past. You want who made what dentistry equipment taught in schools? I don't understand the question. You want who made what dentistry equipment taught in schools? Write that question again. So improved dental chair, Robert T. Freeman. Improved surgical knife, Dr. Charles Drew. Surgical instrument innovations. Oh my goodness. Mario Theophanous. Greeks invented many things of such value that is still taught in schools and units. Yes, but go back to figure out who the original Greeks were. Go back and figure out who the original Romans were. Go back. You got to go back deep into the history. Because I thought the same thing. Oh, it looks like on surface value that they weren't melanated. You got to go back and do more research. Okay? And I'm not talking about the Greeks. I'm talking about the Niji right now. This is the problem. We can't focus on the Greeks. I got to focus on my people right now. Because we're the ones who have been hidden figures. Okay? Improved hearing aid, James E. West co-invented the electret microphone used in hearing aids. What? Improved electrocardiograph, Dr. Charles Drew. Cardiac monitoring advancements. Improved blood plasma container. Improved surgical needle. Improved intravenous drip. So the IV, Dr. Charles Drew, he invented a lot of these things. IV fluid administration improvements, gynecological instrument enhancements, innovations to injection devices, and hemostatic device improvements. That was one man. What about when it comes to transportation and mechanical inventions? You want the people who made certain dentistry equipment to be a part of school curriculum. What I want is that for the people who look like me to be included in any type of curriculum, especially when you're younger, versus all of the history looking like colonizers and being pseudo history, and them saying, hey, whatever history looks like you, we're not going to teach that. We're going to ban that. Now in dentistry, we do learn about history, but all of these things that I mentioned now, they're just not, it's not like there's so many courses where they're teaching us about us. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but I would love for dental schools, but you know, out of all the 75 dental schools, only 2 of them are Niji, melanated, or African American. The rest are predominantly white. So that's only 3 to 4% of them that look like me. So when I say teaching about us, that's what I mean. That's why racism, this is why it's the economics of racism, because even that fact alone, that they haven't started a new dental school for melanated people since the 1800s, those 2 schools, it's just been those 2. All the other new schools are all predominantly white. My hometown, Tallahassee, Florida, FAMU, Florida A&M University, they had a chance to get a dental school when I was just now getting into dentistry, and I was like, wow, that'd be great, I could stay home. They shut it down. That's why there's still only 2 melanated dental schools. So that's why I feel like it's an imbalance. Okay, that's a lot healthier than we'll start with dentists. So let's go to transportation and mechanical innovations. So railway telegraphy system, Granville T. Woods, communication systems for trains. That was one of us. Electric railway systems, electrification of railway lines. That was us. That was Granville T. Woods again. He also did multiplex telegraphs, simultaneously transmission of messages. He did automatic air brakes, enhanced train braking systems. So he basically redesigned the whole train. That was one of us, man. Improved steam boiler furnaces, improved locomotive smokestack. He did all of that. Improved electric lamp, Lewis Lattimore. Railway switch. Improved electric railway conduit. Improved electric railway motor. This is the same man, Granville T. Woods. Electric railway trolley, electric railway brake, electric railway signal, electric railway controller, electric railway car heater, the bell, the door. He did all of that. It just goes on and on and on about what he did. The roof, the car body, all of that. One man. Let's move on to some miscellaneous innovations. Peanut-based products. George Washington Carver developed numerous products from peanuts. Tomorrow, I'm off to the dentist for a date with the comfy leather chair. I hope you have a great dental visit tomorrow. Sweet potato based products. That was George Washington Carver. Innovations in agriculture and food. Soybean based products. George Washington Carver. Crop rotation methods. George Washington Carver. He created sustainable farming techniques. So now you see all these farmers. They don't look like me. Even though this was our land, they don't look like me. But we've invented a lot of the devices that farmers use today. Improved hair care products. Madam C.J. Walker. I know y'all heard her name. She was the first female self-made millionaire in the U.S. Permanent waving machines. Marjorie Stewart Joyner. Hair styling device. Improved hair straightening comb. Improved hair oil formula. Hair grower. Hair conditioner. Hair coloring method. Drying technique. Hair curling. Styling gel. Detangler. Moisturizer. Relaxer. Serum. Mask. All that was Madam C.J. Walker. Okay? So that's a lot, my Niji. That's a lot. We did a lot. I'm going to give y'all a couple more, then I'm going to be done with this. I'm going to be done with my Niji rant for the night. But I need us to know that the economics of racism. So many people voted for MAGA last year. They voted for Trump. They voted for this. But look at what is happening. It didn't get us anywhere. In the past 100 years or 200 years of the presidential elections and all these things, it hasn't gotten us anywhere. It just makes us feel like we're getting something when we're not. Politics, all this stuff is in the mind. It's a part of the matrix. The government doesn't even care. See, the thing is, when I read about history and the true history, I realize now that the government knows exactly what they are doing. This is all by design. So when they're signing these papers, making up all these laws and doing all this stuff, this is what they have been doing in the past. None of it is to benefit the melanated people, my people. This is why we are always counted out, always giving the least, always trying to make it feel less than. And I'm sick of it. Like, I'm just sick of it. Here are more things that we invented. Street sweeper. I think I already said that one. The mailbox. Water closet or toilet systems. That was Thomas Elkins. Enhanced sanitation and functions for early indoor toilet systems. So when you using the toilet, just remember that was one of us. Sanitary drinking cup holder and dispenser. That was George W. Murray. Made public and private drinking stations more hygienic. Improved the dustpan. That was Lloyd P. Ray. Added a handle to the dustpan to make cleanup safer and cleaner. Mop and mop holder. Thomas W. Stewart. Created the modern mop system with a wringer, allowing users to clean without using their hands. Okay? Curtain rod. We can go on and on with this, but you guys get the point. You guys get the point how the Niji has been counted out. The government has been so racist in every decision that they made, and now it is biting them in the ass. It just is. And I feel like until they tell the truth, until they correct history, then the economy will continue to tank. And I don't feel sorry for them. As Niji, I want to be sovereign. I want to be able to govern myself. I don't want more police to be able to come and tell me, oh, because of the color of your skin, I can treat you this type of way. I can treat you that type of way. Oh, because of the color of your skin, we're going to count you out of this. We're going to do this. It's over. Like, why is it like that? That's why things are falling apart now. People are ditching the dollar. And I don't know what's going to happen. Every day I wake up to this government and it's just more ghetto and more ghetto. Trump just seemed like he's straight from the projects sometimes. He just seemed like he just don't care. Like, the mindset isn't there. You know? Are you a real doctor? Obama, your tales are mid. I don't understand what that means. Am I a real doctor? Definitely. I have a doctoral degree, doctor of dental surgery. But I'm also just new to all of the lies that have been told to me. So, yes, I'm a doctor, but I'm also a doctor who has done my genealogy. So, I didn't do my genealogy until last year because I kept hearing, okay, the government has lied. They said we're from Africa and we've been here in America. And it just seems so bizarre that why wouldn't I know these things? Why? Because they don't want you to know these things. They didn't want somebody like me to know these things. That's why. So now that I know these things and I did my genealogy, I'm like, well, damn. All of my great great grandparents was here in America. Like they was never like they listed as inhabitants, not immigrants. So I just feel so cheated, so slighted by the government. I just feel so cheated. And I don't know what Obama, your tails are mid. I don't really know what that means. Like, you got to put the full sentence of what you mean so we can really have a discussion. Because I don't mind. Like, let's talk about it. That's why this podcast exists, hood to hooded. Because I have been lied to so long from the hood till now that I'm sick of the lies. But respectfully, you can't say that the original Greeks and Romans were black with no evidence. Oh, evidence? Listen. Receipts on deck. Receipts on deck. Let me get you some evidence, okay? Because, see, you can't say that they weren't without any evidence from yourself. You know what I mean? You can't say that either. But I have receipts. Let me see if I can pull up a receipt here because, yeah, I was shocked to find that out too. I was really shocked. The people in England, they were originally black. Australia, originally black. China, originally black. Like, stop. But yeah, I like the debate. I like when people don't know. So let me yeah, I felt the same exact way. Greek man in Anatolia, 200 BC. I don't know if y'all can see that, but do you see that? You see them locks? This is an original Greek man. This is not who you think it was. So you said, respectfully, you can't say that the original Greeks and Romans were black with no evidence. What do you call this? Do you see how fast I found that receipt? Do you see how fast I found that? So people who have a colonized mindset just say anything. And I don't just say anything without receipts. Because I'm a doctor, right? So I'm going to go research what the hell I've been told. So when I found out these things, these lies, I'm like, well, you telling me this, but I got to go read it for myself. So that's why I started with my genealogy. I said, okay, so if my people aren't from Africa, I should be able to trace my people here. So when I unlocked my genealogy, put my parents in, it popped up with all my grandparents. Then I put more in, it popped up with my great grandparents and my great aunts and uncles, something I've never known in my almost 40 years of living. It's not talked about orally because it's been banned from our mindset to even put the pieces together. That's how bad they have us colonized. And I know it seems strange to you if you're not in my position, right? So I say, well, damn, I really been lied to. My ancestors were here. This prompted me to go do research about Christmas, about Thanksgiving. I started reading the Christopher Columbus Journal. I started reading about my home state of Florida and realizing how much atrocities and massacres were committed there. And then I realized, damn, these people don't give a fuck because they just gonna be like, well, that's in the past, or, well, you know, they just want the control. I researched the money. I just been researching so much that it's people like you, respectfully, you can't say that the original Greek and Romans were black with no evidence. Statements like that let me know that you're talking with no evidence. This is the original Greek man. Do he look Caucasian to you? Or do he look melanin? 200 BC. Bigio Morata. Go look it up. Go look it up. Let me type it in the chat for you so you can go do some research. And you say, dang, Dr. Sean, I ain't know that this is the biggest secret of the world. Let's put the name in for you. Bigio. Yeah, I got receipts. Because I keep receipts because I don't believe everybody. That's why colonizers can't tell me my history no more because they lied too much to me. They fed me too much pseudo history and I had to go find it out for myself, you know. And I'm like, well, damn, they really lied. Let's pull up some more images for you. Let's find out some more. Greek. Do you see that nose cut off? Do you see that? I have a lot of evidence backing that Greek and Roman culture and history are in fact both Greek and Roman. Remember, in ancient Greece they had slaves mainly from Ethiopia. You see that? One image does not prove this. But you said with no evidence. Remember what your statement said respectfully, you can't say that the original Greeks and Romans were black with no evidence. So one image is some evidence. Do you see what I'm saying? You said no evidence. And this is me just pulling this up out the fly. There's so much evidence. You just have to go do your research. Now, I'm not here to go and research Greek and Roman. I'm here to talk about my people. But in the midst of me learning about my people, I also learned about those people. The original people in Greek, in China, in Australia. So to somebody who has done no research, you could get them with that. I have more images. Okay? But we're not finna sit here and just post images. I gave you a name. You just gotta go do your research. You just gotta do your research. Because it's there. It's all there. And I want you to pull up me some research. How does this person look? This is another one. Greek. Look at that hair. Do you know who copied that hair? Right. You say one image, but there's millions of images. That's the thing. It's like, well, you got one image. No, there are millions of images. And I don't even research this topic that much. I don't really research the Greek and the Romans, but I did do some research because history led me to do research on it. But I didn't stay there because that's not my whole topic. But yeah, you can find so many of these images. So it ain't just one. We can stay here all day and do this, but I won't do it. That means, to your logic, if the original Chinese, British, Greeks, Romans were all black, where did the white man come from? The Caucasus Mountains, the Neanderthal. But we ain't getting into that. So you asking questions that I know the answer to. The white man came from the caves. They're the Neanderthals, right? Right. Homo erectus, Homo sapien, Homo, the Neanderthals. Caucasus Mountains, Caucasian. Right. But that's going deep. We ain't even going that old, but yeah, that's where they came from. Hunter gatherers. Go look up Lucy. I mean, who are the Neanderthals, since you asked? Because you said, where did the white man come from? Neanderthals. They lived 400,000 to 40,000 years ago. Coexisted and interbreed with early modern humans, Homo sapiens. Okay. Like I said, there were many black slaves in ancient Greece that played a role in economics and daily life in city and states. You keep using the word slaves, like that's the part I don't like. You mean like maybe they were prisoners of war, like they were kidnapped and enslaved, but nobody just a slave. Like somewhere that history that you're talking about is colonized. Because slave is from the word Slav. Slavic. It's like over here they say, oh, in America, the black people were slaves when we weren't slaves. So I can't even really trust when you say black, slave together. It don't make sense because black, what is that? You mean melanated? But I like these questions though. It just let you know that I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. It says Neanderthals occupied the West and their cousins, the Denisovans, lived in the East and the Southeast Asia. There's no evidence that Denisovans or Neanderthals ever lived in the Americas. Any ancient DNA found here traces back to modern human ancestors. Okay. So it said look up Socrates, Herodotus, Homer, Plato, Alexander the Great, who were all from ancient Greece and very well documented. You tell me if they look black. Listen, I have a doctoral degree. I took ancient Greek classes at Florida State University. So I heard all of those names, Plato, Socrates. I know all of those names. But what I'm trying to say is our history has continuously been erased. If you go back further than that, I'm sure somewhere around these people there are melanated people. So if you coming from a colonized book, colonized documentations, then it's already pseudo history. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to battle if Socrates was white or black. He white. They all white. That's the point that I'm trying to make now. That my people's history has been erased. And the thing that you're saying is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Our history has been erased. I already know about all those people. I know about the Hippocrates and all of that. I know about that. But this is in, when was this? 460 BCE? That's not that long ago. So when you go and call, okay, Hippocrates, a Greek physician born in 460 BCE, that wasn't that long ago. When we tell you that the Neji have been here for thousands of years, 460 BCE, not that long ago. So when you talk about ancient, we got to go back to the timeline. So this is how deep I'm going to go with it. So if the earth is millions of years old, right? And the Neji, the indigenous people have been thriving for thousands of years, if not millions, right? How you just going back to 460 BCE, a little bit over 2,000 years ago, and calling it ancient history? So in my mind, I'm like, well, that ain't no way. There's no way that's ancient history if it's 2,000 plus years old. That's not ancient. That's a colonized pseudo ancient history. These people, Hippocrates, 460 BCE, widely regarded as the father of modern medicine to the white man, not to the melanated man. Okay? If you go to the Vatican, all these places, I'm sure they have a whole bunch of history that they have stolen that they will not allow to be released. So these names that you look up, Hippocrates, Socrates, Plato, all these people, they might be great in your eyes, but to my eyes, don't mean nothing because they don't look like me. And what I'm trying to tell you is black, white, I'm looking for melanated people who look like me. I am not into holding up Alexander the Great. He's only great to you. It's like Trump, make America great again. But America's never great when colonizers are in control. It was never great. So the things that you're saying and tell me if they look black or not, I know about these people. No, they're not black. That's my point exactly. That's my point exactly. Yep. So let's go to this. It said Hippocrates is honored in Western medicine. All right, Western medicine. So the names and things that you're talking about is Western medicine, colonized medicine, basically. And African or Niji, especially in America as well, medical system existed thousands of years before and alongside his teachings. So thousands of years before. Ancient Kemet, Egypt, for example, has surgical techniques, herbal medicine, and diagnosis methods recorded well before Greek civilization rose. So this is my thing. Like, you're going to a time where it's in the middle. It's like, it's too soon. It's too early. Like, there were thousands and millions of years before this timeline that you're on. So if you get away from that timeline that you're on, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. This is why me doing my genealogy got me off of the colonized timeline. I was like, well, damn. If the church was invented in the 1800s, the schools invented in the 1800s, they say that my people was enslaved, but I'm looking at my genealogy and the what is it? I'm looking at the records, and it's going back to the 1700s, the early 1700s. So somewhere somebody lying. Somewhere somebody don't want the truth to be exposed. So when you throw out these names from 460 BCE and you call it ancient, that's not ancient enough for me. We got to go way back. Like I said, we had systems in place way before Hippocrates. Way before these people who did science experiments on the people that they captured and enslaved. Like, what? Like, stop playing with me, man. Yeah, I studied all this stuff, but I studied all these names when I wasn't in my indigenous mindset, when I wasn't a Niji, when I was a full-blown Christian, just a student out here thinking that the white man had my best interest, or that there was some type of American dream, or that we came from slaves, when I was in that mindset. But let me tell you, when I realized who the hell I really am, I did my research, man. That's why nobody can tell me who I am. You can't let the enemy tell you who you are. I don't start with the colonized timeline. I just don't do it. You can say, well, it was ancient because it was 460 BCE. Yeah, that's a colonized timeline, because that ain't ancient at all. No, that's not ancient. Socrates, that's another name you threw up in there. Let's go talk about Socrates. 470 BCE. That's not ancient enough for me. That ain't even that long ago. 470 BCE. If the world is millions of years old, the Niji and the ancient indigenous people were here for thousands of years doing medicine, and they come around 470 BCE. Who you think they got that from? Right. All these people around the same time. All of them. Socrates, 399 BCE. Socrates was tried and sentenced to death for corrupting the youth and empathy, disrespecting the gods. He accepted his sentence and drank hemlock poison. Why is he a role model again? Let me know. Socrates questioned the state, powerful and popular opinion, a revolutionary act even today. He taught poor students, challenged mainstream narratives, and paid for it with his life. How is he related to anything that I'm talking about again? Not indigenous. So when you talk about having evidence and all of that, it's too much evidence. That's my point. We could be on here all day with too much evidence about the truth. The truth, with the truth, you don't have to lie about the truth. It's just like here, people will say, well, dang, you don't have no evidence of the indigenous people in America being Niji or melanated. We think that they're the Native Americans because that's the history that they put out now. You think that they're Native Americans. You think that they look like the Mongolians. But it really looked like us. I was just as shocked when I went into the 1400s and I saw the pictures of the American Indians and it don't look like the Native Americans. What? Your words are falling on deaf ears. I know. But see, I believe that this person, Mario, he probably like, well, damn, I didn't know this. So it's a lot of things people don't know. It don't matter who you are. If you white or black, you can still have a colonized mindset. A lot of white people have a colonized mindset. They don't even know the truth. Their ancestors even lied to them. They even lied to you, told you Socrates, Hippocrates. These people are ancient. 460 BCE is a whole new timeline. That ain't ancient at all. And I always ask the question, why the hell did they even start the timeline over? Who told y'all to do that? Why are we on the Greek system over here in America? It make no sense. What we got to do with Greek? It make no sense. Tell me why they cut the nose off of this Greek figurine. We could go all day with this. You say no evidence. Receipt after receipt. You see that hair? That phenotype? Just like in America, they cut the noses off. Yeah. Receipts, man. Receipts. And it's just sad. It's just sad. Like, it's just really, really sad. So if you want to know more, you just got to do your research. Because I got receipts. So around the same time you talk about Hippocrates, right? And around the same time you talk about Socrates, right? We just determined that they were around 470 BCE, right? So this is another image of a melanated Greek person in 400 BCE, Greek head of Selenos. Do he look white or do he look black to you? Receipts. So yeah, maybe you don't know about these receipts, but there are thousands of these receipts. So you gotta just get off of the Hippocrates train, get off of the Socrates train, because they ain't the only ones around in 470 BCE. Do this look white or black to you? Let me know. The whole system is a lie. They did a reset, stole our history, period. Because like I said, Greeks taught the world many great things. Like, Greeks ain't teach nothing, man. Are you serious? Go and look up the first language. Let's go look up the first language. Where do you think the Greeks stole it from? The Egyptians. So hieroglyphs, right? Hieroglyphs. Where you think that came from? Egyptian hieroglyphs. The Greeks stole that. So everything you talk about, you think that is new, it really ain't. I mean, that is ancient. It is really not that ancient. Yeah, a lot of those images you can find on places like Pinterest. They have a whole bunch of those images. Or you can go to different museum websites, different artifact websites, and just put in original black Greeks. original black Romans, and you'll find it. I was the same way. Like, wow, I can't believe they lied. Like, I couldn't believe that the original people in Europe were melanated. Like, what? Couldn't believe it. Another Greek silver coin, 490 BCE now. This is a Greek silver coin around the same time. Hippocrates, Socrates, Plato. Tell me how that one looked. Caucasian or white? Let me know. Look at that nose. Look at those lips. Look at that hair. Greek now. Don't let people lie to you. And then even if you think you know the truth and you falling for pseudo history because you're trying to hang on to it, you got to know the truth. Because this is why this world is in the state that it is in today. With all of these colonizers lying, talking about they were the beginning, changing the timeline, got our people thinking that 490 BC is so ancient when it really ain't. This is a coin that they were using with our faces on it. Not literally the Niji from America, but the original man over there in Europe, in those lands. They wiped them out. Silenus is Greek mythology and not a real person. Come on now. I never talked about Silenus. I said Socrates, Hippocrates, Plato. I don't know nothing about Silenus. But Greek is nothing but mythology anyway, so it just goes to show you half of the stuff they talk about ain't even real. Because you said, in the beginning you said, what? You can talk this without no receipt. Now that I'm pulling out receipts, you like, well, Silenus ain't even real. Come on now, LOL. Yeah, LOL at yourself. Because you ain't know I was going to have these receipts on deck. But I'm happy to teach you today. You're going to learn today. But it's good to have dialogue. It's good to have theory and knowledge so people can say, hey, I didn't know that. Because you probably didn't know these images existed because you've never been exposed to them. You only been exposed to what people want you to know that makes you think that I'm less than white supremacy in some type of way, in that, hey, we started this, we did this, when it's all lies. Like, it's just all lies, man. All lies. All lies. When you use words like slaves, no, these are prisoners of war, man. Like, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. But this is a good topic though, because you encouraged me to do more research about the Greeks, because I did a lot of research on it and I was shocked to find out the lies. So I understand how confused you might be, like, well, dang, like, I ain't know, I thought the Greeks was all of that. No, there was somebody there before them. Before the people you talking about, there were people there before them. You just get stuck up on a little piece of timeline. You think the timeline's so ancient when it really ain't. The timeline was recreated, reconstructed, so you can believe exactly what you're saying now, that these people were great when they were stealing. We were prisoners of war, never slaves in America. Never slaves. Never slaves. And when I did my genealogy and I went back to the 1700s, my people still weren't no slaves. It's all a lie. Maybe like one or two people, like, I don't know how they did the propaganda, but we were not slaves. Like, it's kind of crazy. What may have been the head of a Roman Celtic god found in 2013 during an archaeological dig at the Binchester Roman fort, built around AD 100 in England's Durham. How do this person look? Roman. 100 AD. Stop playing with us, man. Like I told you, I got receipts for days, man. But I'm just pulling these receipts out because you said that. I wasn't even prepared for that. But if I had a chance to sit here and go and get all of my receipts, then I could really school you on the truth. And you might be like, well, damn, the history lied to me. But I'm not from Greek. I'm not from the Roman. I don't know nothing about Silenus. I'm sure I've studied that name before, but if it don't relate to me, I don't really, I'm trying to focus on the Niji, the indigenous American Indians, how we have been lied to. I can't get distracted. We have been so distracted, and I want whoever to think that the Greeks taught this. You got to go back to the timeline. Go back to the timeline. Say, hey, how old is the Earth, right? Let's just go. Let's just do it before I get off of here. Let's just go to how old is the Earth? Because you thinking 2,000 years ago is a long time. That ain't that damn long. The Earth is 4.5 billion years old, right? 4.5 billion years old. You talking about 2,000 years? Nah, that is not old enough for me. That's not something you put ancient on. You don't put the word ancient on something that's 2,000 years old when the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Now let's go to another question. Since the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, let's see. I'm going somewhere, my ninja. Give me a second, because I want to make this make sense to people who just don't understand. So it's saying the earliest tool makers were 3.3 million years ago. Then when you said where did white people come from, it said the white people, Denisovans, Neanderthals, they came around 200,000 years ago. Then it says Homo sapiens, the white man now, 300,000 years ago. Okay? So when we think about 4.5 billion years ago, 300,000 years ago, but when you talk about 2,000 years ago, somewhere somebody tried to recreate the timeline to throw us off, to make it seem like, okay, we have all these new great people, and this is where history starts. History don't start there. And that's where a lot of my people have it mixed up, because when we go to school, we learn about American history, all the things they teach us in America. It always starts with about 400 years ago, because they want you to know colonized history. They don't want you to go further than that to say, okay, well, that ain't far back enough for me. If the Earth is 4.5 billion years old and people were here for hundred thousands of years, why are we just starting 400 years ago? Why are we just starting 2,000 years ago with Socrates and all these people? Why are we starting there? Because they wrote these people down to be great like they were the first, and they weren't the first. Go do your research, get your own receipts. You don't even have to believe me. Since you posed that question, go and look this up. Say, who were the original people of Greek and Romans? Who were they? Because they just been hidden. I'm surprised we even able to find that much, because it just been hidden. Okay? It just been hidden. So when you see, let's see. Just been hidden, my Niji. So BCE means before common era, years before year one, no year zero. CE, common era, years starting at year one. BC, before Christ, same as BCE. AD, same as CE. See how they put all these terminologies on the time because they trying to do whatever? It just don't make no sense to me. It says the dividing point between BCE and CE is the birth of Jesus Christ, traditionally marked as year one. there is no year zero. The calendar goes from 1 BCE. So 1 BCE is 1 before common era to 1 CE, common era. Don't make no sense. 3000 BCE, 3000 years before year 1. So when we talk about, because Socrates, Plato, those are all AD. 2024 CE or AD 2024. 2024 years after the start point. It's all a bunch of bullshit to me. All I know is not old enough. 2,000 years ago, 460 AD, it ain't that old enough. Period. Okay, my Niji? So this was some great conversation, some great dialogue. Thank you guys for even chatting. We got a little bit about the Greek into this broadcast, because there's a lot of people who have colonized mindset and they just don't know. I've been that person and I just didn't know. And if I didn't know, and if I didn't do my research, I would be like, well, dang, you right. The Romans did do this. The Greek did do this. But I know that somewhere down the line, somebody was lying. And every time somebody tell me some history now, believe it or not, I'm not going to believe you. I'm going to go research it myself. So you had to came in here and said, well, Hippocrates and Socrates, they did all this, but when I go back and I see the time, it just throw it all off for me, because I know that before it was colonized, these people, the Homo sapiens, were in caves, and Neanderthals were wanderers, gatherers. They came out of the caves and went into all these lands and destroyed these lands and started wars and did so many things that has gotten us to this point that we are today, where it's all about war, racism, and economics. They have taught millions of people to hate their skin, a skin that is a defense mechanism against the sun, a skin that is a defense mechanism against cancer, and they taught us to hate our own skin, and they use this every day to drive economics, to divide, and to make us feel worthless. But to my Niji out there, I need you to know how powerful you are. I need you to know that half of the things you using, the light bulb, we did that. The computer, the internet, we did that. The cell phone, we did that. So they'll say, oh, well, the Greeks did contribute all this stuff. No, we did that. You mean the Greeks were great copiers? The new Greeks that you talk about, they copied a lot. They lied a lot. A lot of the things that they believed didn't even work. A lot of their inventions didn't even work. So we could call them the father of medicine, just like you could call Christopher Columbus the founder of America, knowing he ain't even come over here. This is the type of lies people will tell. Christopher Columbus got a whole holiday. He highlighted all up, and he didn't even do anything in America. They just lied. Andrew Jackson, he's on the money. He was a murderer. He unalived so many people, stole land, but that's a hero. That ain't my hero. That ain't a Niji hero. That's y'all hero. Yeah, they on the money, but that ain't my hero. And this is where we are today with this government, with the world. This is why things are crashing down, my Niji, because the truth has been hidden. The pseudo history is controlling the economy, it's controlling the world, and people just won't tell the truth. So until the government tells the truth, this is where we are. And I don't feel bad for it. I don't feel sorry, because so many people have that mindset. Well, when I'm talking about my people, they want to say, well, my people. Listen, I ain't talking about your people. I'm talking about my people and how we've been lied and covered up on. And if you in another part of the world, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But if you here on Turtle Island, America, and you woke up and you did your genealogy, then you know exactly what I'm talking about and how they have lied so much. And I am sick of it. Now is the time. It's our reset now. They've been resetting time and doing all this, and now it's all catching up to them. Karma. Karma, my Niji. Okay? Karma. So I'm done with this. This has been a great live. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the great dialogue, because it keeps me on my toes and keeps me learning. Like, oh, I already know about these people. Like, what? That ain't nothing new. I know about Hippocrates. I done went to school. I got a couple college degrees, so I ran across those names plenty of times when I thought these was heroes when they was really zeros. Okay? Yeah. So this has been another broadcast of the Hood to Hood podcast. Thank you guys for joining me. The economics of racism, which is really, really prevalent right now. We're going to continue to dive into this, my Niji, and just continue to break down these difficult topics every day. We stand in the paint about who we are. We don't let the enemy tell us who we are. We don't let the enemy put their history down our throat and brainwash us and make us realize, try to make us, well, we did. No. We got to go back to the true and go back to the real time. Not this pseudo time that they got us on. Got us working 2 to 3 jobs. Working 10 to 12 hours. Can't even spend time with your family. You want to take a vacation, they tell you no. Your child sick, they tell you no, you're going to get fired. No, we're not having it. We got to get our mindset back and really wake the hell up. Okay, my Niji? This is what we have to do. We got to wake up. Ain't no other choice. Ain't nobody coming to save us. Nobody. Think somebody coming to save you? No, they're not coming to save you. So don't chase a lifestyle, chase legacy. Okay? So my mind is still blown, sister. I like the fact that you're hungry for knowledge. I am so hungry for knowledge. Every day I am hungry for knowledge, and I am focused on really just understanding the truth. And like I said, I'm one of the first people in my family to wake up to realize that I'm indigenous to Turtle Island. I came from being a 100% diehard Christian. That's why now when people come and try to tell me something before, I would be like, well, you shaky. But when you know who you are, when you read the things that Christopher Columbus done, when you read that journal, you see what Christianity, how they played and how they treat and call us. They said in the Christopher Columbus journal, and I will never forget, I might even go to that and just read it one day. He said, wow, these people are going to be easy to overtake. They're so gullible. They just don't understand about war and killing. They just don't even think like that. Like he just, the mindset that he had towards us was just so evil. Like you could just see it in the writing. They didn't think that hundreds of years later we would go back and read these journals, but when I'm reading this, it's just like you reading a movie. Like I can't believe this man who they hype up as a hero talk about us like this. It's so sad. It is so sad. Okay, so this week we want to build a survival blueprint. What will you grow? What will you trade? And who will you build with, my Niji? They want you distracted, dehumanized, and in debt. But your mind is your last sovereign territory. Your mind. Protect it and build from there. Okay? And with that, I leave y'all. And I am getting off of here. Thank you, Mario and Swift, for chatting with me tonight. And just really, and Jez. And who else? Frankie, Zach. Thank you all for joining me and chatting with me tonight. That's what the Hood to Hooded podcast is about. I like having difficult debates where people challenge the knowledge and challenge who we are. I like it because it just gives us a chance to prove who the hell we are. And on that note, my Niji, I am out. Feathers up. Never let the enemy tell you who you are. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Dr. Chief the Sunflower, and I'm out. Good night, guys. Good night. I will see y'all tomorrow. Day 29 of the Hood to Hood Consistency Project. Showing up. You're welcome. Good night.